What is going on, gamers? Welcome to another Satisfactory video here, where this was a little bit of a side quest, even though we accumulated 352,750 kilowatts here. The only main reason I made this was to be able to provide my drones with some fuel that's going to be running all my uranium to my nuclear plant, but I figured, me being me, let's blow it out of the water. So we've been working on this project now for about 2 days, and I'm just going to run you through everything, what I did, why I did it, and yeah, more or less it's not totally finished because I still have roughly 800 more generators to place, but I kind of taken my time with that. I got like 600 placed today so far, but we'll go ahead and get into it, and we're going to start probably with where my inputs are and where they're coming from, etc. We are also on the map here. You can see we are in the pretty much north central corner of the map, and we took full advantage of all these oil nodes in the area here. And I went ahead and I grabbed the nitrogen from up here, and we got sulfur from here as well as coal. And I believe I ended up getting these two sulfur nodes as well as this one bauxite that is extremely far away from where we are. So those are the materials that we ended up grabbing for this specific adventure here. And we're gonna get started over here. So far I've color coded everything to the best of my ability. Oil is black, water is blue, white is nitrogen, purple is heavy oil residue, orange is diluted fuel, and red for turbo fuel, yellow for nitric acid, and the maroon color is for the eventual rocket fuel. So if you see all the different colors, that's kind of what I tried to do here. But you can see we've got 600, 600, 450, 600, 600, 600 on the other side of that, I believe. Or hold on, 600, 600, 450, 600, 600. So 1200 plus 1200 plus 450. So we have 2850 total oil coming into here. We have everything overclocked, obviously, out there wherever they're at, and that is all coming in here. We do have a pure bauxite node coming in to make canisters for the packaged portions of the rocket fuel, as well as this is the combined two impure sulfur nodes, I believe, that are over here. Yep. So we got a total of 600 sulfur coming in here. Now, a lot of the sulfur I'm using, I'm not actually using all of it. Same with the bauxite, but you know, we just have more for if we need that. Here you can see 300 lines of nitric acid coming from that direction, which is a very, very far distance away. As you can see, they go forever, and my god, my poles are all kinds of cockeyed. Also, we've got the other sulfur nodes as well as coal coming in as well. I haven't really found a use for this coal yet. I just kind of grabbed it because I could. The first portion of this, this blueprint here for this water tower, for those of you that might like it, it's basic, it's simple, it gets the liquids elevated so we could use the gravity, you know, flow system on each individual liquid, just to kind of ensure that we won't have any issues here. So if you want this blueprint, I will be putting it in my Discord in the blueprint section, along with one more, my generator one over there, which I'll show you in just a second. But more or less, the job of these 15 refineries here is to make diluted fuel. We need, I can't remember exactly how much, but these 10, 2, 4, or 12, sorry. So there's 12 blenders here that power the 60 turbo fuel turbo blend recipes over there. So the blue lines are water, like I mentioned before, and the purple pinkish lines are the heavy oil residue. And I am sinking all of the polymer in this area until I find something else to do with it, if I do find something else to do with it. But as most of you know, we got to have that polymer moving if we want the whole system to be rocking and rolling. So these fluid buffers are going to be full, absolutely full all the way around. And that's just kind of the way I like to do everything, get it all filled up first. These next 3 rows are 20 refineries apiece, and they are all making just heavy oil residue. And more or less, we're sending one line. So how I have these broken up into 10, I believe this is making 600. Oh god, autosave, look out. 40 times 10, so 400 is what we need for one row of 10 turbo fuel mixers. blenders, whatever they're called. So you can see that all this is totally full. So these are all pretty much the same copy and paste system here. 20 refineries feeding into 20 turbo fuel blenders. So the petroleum coke is another required part slash piece to this equation. All the petroleum coke is being made back here with our last line of oil here. We have one line of oil going into each one, and our final line is going into making the petroleum coke. 3 lines coming back this way and going out to distribute amongst the turbo fuel blend. This build is pretty crazy, but I can tell you I'm super glad that I color coded everything, because we have like literally 8 liquids going on in this place, and it gets to be pretty confusing. But once we come out of the turbo fuel, we're going right back into the water towers again. Like I said, if you don't know the way these work, essentially if you get a pump and you get this buffer elevated above all the other pipes that exist in the system, you won't have any flow rate issues. It helps out a lot with that. So any sort of issues you might have with head lift and flow rate are pretty much solved by using this type of water tower. And you could do anything like this. Honestly, you don't even have to make a building. You could just put a pipe that goes up above everything else and then comes back down, and you're in business. Over here we're making ketchup and mustard into Big Mac sauce. You can see that we've got our nitric acid here, which we'll go take a look at that first real fast. All right, so all these yellow blenders over here are making the nitric acid. I actually have, I have this one iron node coming in back here to make enough plates to more or less manifold this entire system. It goes all the way that way, and then all the way back over here, and then all the way back through there. So you can see, all that is holding true. Now this first entire line here is actually not being utilized. You can see what I did with the one water. So we need 300 water per 10, because we need 30 water a piece. So 30 times 10 is 300. So we got one overclocked water guy here going and splitting all that amongst everything, which works out great. But I actually made a little bit too much nitric acid, so this entire row is actually not being used for anything right now, but it will be eventually. I used all of this nitrogen that I have coming in, so if we need nitric acid for something else, or I want to utilize it for something else, we can. So these 2 rows back here are being utilized, and they are more or less running. So we're producing 300 nitric acid per line, and each one of these machines, I believe, needs 10. So we need 100 per line, which is why I have this line running all the way through the whole system. So you can see it's full, and since we got it up there, this little bit right here doesn't affect any sort of head lift issues or anything. And you can see, I'm sure we could go all the way to the end of the 300 here, and even the last line would be full. So I was trying to minimize the amount of pipes I was using, because originally I was going to split that into 300s, but then I just had an epiphany, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to run this line all the way across, and that's pretty much what I ended up doing with that. Here you can see our wonky, interesting generator design. Now, since rocket fuel is a gas, we're making rocket fuel in these final blenders here. Since rocket fuel is considered a gas, it does not require head lift, so we're able to do this interesting design here with no issues as far as head lift goes and those things, because no head lift happens when you're transporting gases. You can do all kinds of weird stuff with it. But really, the main reasoning behind this, so each row is currently 76 generators long, only because it's supposed to be 96 generators long, but we ran out of map, and I'll take you over there and show you that real quick in just a second. But yeah, more or less, I set up a blueprint for this. It goes up and over in kind of a rocket shape is what we were going for. I had to put this beam down there to give us enough space in between blueprints to make it easier to lay them down. So you could get rid of that beam if you wanted to, if you end up using this or anything. But yeah, more or less built walls and slanted walls up, and left these. We did take them off of that one there, but I kind of like them more on there. It gives a little character, plus these connect together, which is kind of cool. But yeah, we'll fly back there real fast, and I'll show you how long this is, because you can't even see the end of it. It's hilarious. And for all the people that are like, why you overclock your generators? Because, well, to be completely honest with you, a thumbnail that says 1,411 generators is a lot more impressive than 500. So that's why us YouTubers to be doing some dumb crap every once in a while. But here we go, all the way to the end. You can see the 5 rows here is pretty insane. This one row here, so I had 105,000 kilowatts before I plugged all this in. And the best part about this is you can even see at the very end, we still have our maximum 50 rocket fuel in each one of these generators. See, look at that, 50 all the way down this whole entire line. Every one of these have still got 50 in it. But yeah, we ran out of map space, as you can tell. If we go right here, it starts blip, 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 blip. Oh, okay. Apparently it's not going to do it to me. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so maybe I could go a little bit further here, but essentially what we ended up learning last night is if I do overclock, once I get synthetic power shards, I'm going to come back through here, and I've got the numbers done out to where we can overclock to like 1.57% on every one of these to get the extra bit of power. I mean, it'll all add up eventually, right? So for now, I'm just going to get the generators installed, leave them where they're at, and yeah, we'll come back later once we get synthetic power shards figured out and add them to the system to get probably another pretty huge boost. But so yeah, I started with 105 kilowatts before I plugged this whole line in yesterday, and now we are at 220. And by the time we're done, we'll be around 500K. And then the hilarious part about this whole scenario is, like I said, the rocket fuel idea was kind of a side quest just to be able to power my drone army to pull uranium. And if you guys have been keeping up with the episodes here, we have a big giant nuclear plant going on that side of the map that we just needed, you know, essentially a lot of fuel to power a drone army to transport uranium. Is the way we ended up going with that. But yeah, look at that, dude. Is that not wild looking? It looks so cool. So much cooler than just regular generators. We got these like little rocket ship towers going on. But yeah, that is pretty much the skinny, man. There's a lot of work involved in this. Typically I like to build buildings with all of my things, but I came over here, like I said, kind of as a side mission to get all this done. So I just tried to do it as pretty as I could. I mean, there's so many liquids involved that it's very hard to get the pipes looking pristine and perfect. I might have been able to do it a little bit better if I planned it out. But you can see here, I did kind of an interesting idea here, because I wanted to get 400 as an output for a line, because 100 generators per line just sounded kind of nice. So the way that I did that was we just pretty much pulled this out of here. Once again, since it's a gas, we don't have head lift problems, so I didn't have to worry about adding a pump or anything right there. And on blenders, there's this nice little slot right here, which actually, if you're making aluminum slop, there's a trick you can do because it produces water. You can send the 40 water or whatever right back inside of it if you can manage to get it to work, something like that. Because I'm pretty sure like aluminum slop requires 50 water and then it produces 40, so you can send that 40 back in. Like, that's kind of a cool thing if you didn't know that. Little tippy tip I've learned along the way here. But yeah, I still have all of these lines to do 70 something that way, 76 that way. And you can see here we're making exactly 200 per minute of we're using this last line here to make 200 per minute rocket fuel, which I'm using to power this drone station and to load this drone station, as well as to fill up my dimensional depot for jetpack juice and all that good stuff, which this is my first time using rocket fuel with jetpack juice, and my god, is it crazy. But yeah, we're locked and loaded here. Everybody's full. We got constructors going crazy. We got our ingots going crazy. I do have my additional aluminum scrap that might make it through. It shouldn't, because it's pretty dialed in, like down to the decimal. But if there's any additional here, it gets synced simply because we're recycling this water that's coming from this guy, 133.333. We're having that recycled back into this dude that requires 100 or 222.222, and we're taking that back here. So 88.8 plus the 133.33 equals the 222 to 2222. and seems to be running very smoothly as long as the aluminum scrap doesn't get backed up, which it won't because we're having it synced. Big brain, let's go. You guys be good, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I hope you enjoy my build here, and hope to see you on the live stream. Also check down the link below. I started for those that have been following along in my teeth fixing journey, I got my quotes back for the amount of money I'm gonna need for all that, but essentially, long story short, there's a GoFundMe link down in the description if you want to read my story and all that stuff, and possibly help me towards my freaking monster goal that I need to get my teeth fixed. Check that out. So you guys be good, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Pieces.